Welcome to Stitch Crazy. Today we are going to be doing an abstract fiber art project, and I call this the Vibrant Horse, and this is what the finished product is going to be when we're done. And the first thing that we would need to do is have a few supplies. We need fabric, we need our background fabric, and we're going to have scraps of fabric to make our abstract design in our project. We'll need a cutting board, a small acrylic cutter. We need a paper scissors because we need to have a paper design. Interfacing, we need interfacing. Our scraps of fabric. These I've already put my iron onto it. And with the interface, iron-on interface, you need to follow the instructions because every interface, there's different thicknesses. There's a light, medium, and a heavyweight, depending on the effect that you want. And so every piece has a different iron-on technique, okay, for like the length of holding the iron on to make it adhere to the fabric. And then for the very top, we use, it's like a, almost like a netting. It's called tulle. And I've got black. You can get it in white, and you can also get it in like with a little sparkle in it, okay? If you want to do this project at your home and you have an ironing board, fine. But like if we want to go somewhere else and you're maybe meeting with a bunch of other quilters and you're all doing different projects or whatever, you can get like a non-slip ironing mat, and then you can bring your iron. I did not bring my iron today, but you can have this mat so that you can protect whatever table you're on. You're not going to burn it because you got your iron on there, and you're going to be ironing your interfacing on your fabric with this on the bottom. So those are a few of the supplies that you are going to need. First of all, we're going to find a design. I actually found my design. This is how big it was. It was in a catalog, and this is actually a painting, but I decided to do it as a fiber art project. So I just took this picture, blew it up as much as I could, or to the size that I wanted, and that's where I got my design is right here from my blowing it up on a Xerox machine and getting it to the size that I want. Okay? So then our next project is, deciding what kind of fabric, what kind of background you want. This one has, first you'd have to have your background, which is the blue here. And I did bring blue, I guess, for my other one too. On this one I used just plain black for the horse design. This one I decided to go with a black that has like a little texture to it, okay? So then the first thing you need to do is we take our design, we get our interfacing. We'll need a pencil too because we need to draw. So then we take our interfacing, and depending on, you have to think about what way do I want my design to lay on my background fabric. So if I wanted to lay finish this way, then I want to put it down the opposite. And then you would draw it, and then we would take the fabric that we want and iron it onto the fabric. And that's what I've done here. I've ironed on my interfacing piece there. Okay, so let me take, and we'll have to have a fabric scissors for part of this because I have it ironed on. Then we'll need to cut it out. And you can, depending, like this isn't so picky, we're just gonna cut it as close as I can to the edge. And then we'll see what we got when we're done here. So I ironed it on the wrong side of my fabric. So I'm just cutting around. And this is the base of my pattern. Because as you see on this, we're going to be putting scraps of fabric on top of this. And that's why on this one here, I chose the fabric with a little bit of a texture, because I thought if I put the fabric on and then there's bits of pieces, it's not going to be just a black, it'll be kind of a grayish black. And all I need to do here is cut part of the ears here. Okay, so then this is my pattern that I have, and it's all ready to iron on to the next piece.
Get 3 months free access on all lines, plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, like when you're deciding on your pattern, like I said, I got mine from a catalog. You can also get coloring books. And what I went through the coloring books and I found like an owl. And then I found a different owl. You can do so much with these. I think it would be really fun. And then the other pattern I thought that would be really fun to do is like a seahorse. And you could do such vibrant colors with this. You know, you can make it really plain, or you can really make it pop. You can do like fluorescent colors with these, or I'm gonna do hand dyes with the one I'm doing today, which is fabric that it has like a little bit of a texture to it. Now on this one here that I did, I just used regular fabric and I just cut small pieces so that you would just get little bits and pieces of the color. So you can make it whatever you want to. Okay, and then we're going to decide on background fabric once we have the design. Now I brought a couple pieces. I think the horse head gets kind of lost in this one because it's too dark. Like the light blue I think really makes the horse pop. You could do like a cream with like a little texture in it, a cream on cream. Or like this one here, I'm going to use the black with this gold for something different. Okay, so then once we get this on, we can kind of position it in different spots, because you can cut off if you don't want this on. Once you're finished with your project, leave a little bit on each side so that you have room to cut it down or keep it the way it is. So then we would first iron this on, and then when we have, and how to do that is we just take this piece right off, and then we lay it on our fabric. Again, you go to the interfacing instructions and it'll tell you how long to iron this to make it stick, it adhere to this fabric. And when we're all done with this, we're going to be sewing over it, so if it kind of starts coming loose, that's all right. Okay, so then ahead of time I picked out some vibrant colors, and you can either use your fabric scissors, and what I did is I ironed on a small piece of each of these. Some of these have like, they don't have any on, but that's okay as long as there's a little bit of interfacing on there. So I'm going to be like just cutting these and just placing them randomly, just different sizes. And with these batiks, you'll see like this has blue and green, vibrant green with a dark green in it. So no matter how you cut it, these pieces are going to look different. And I've got some lighter stuff, so we'll just, and if you want to make them rounded, I mean, you can make your pieces. Make sure that the iron-on is going to be towards the bottom. And that's, you just keep cutting Or if you want to use your rotary cutter, you can do that too. I'm just going to use my, let's see, and if I don't want that sharp point, and then I can just do like a round piece like this and set it. Now, when I look at my design, I'm going to want kind of an eye here. Over here, I kind of put the eye, and down over in here, kind of like the nose part. The rest of it, really, you may want to have a few pieces of the background for the horse base. So if you leave some open spots, that's okay. And so then you get everything organized and everything laid out. And then there's a pressing sheet that you can buy to lay over it. But being as the iron-on is on the back side, you take off the paper and make sure the iron-on is here, and then you just press it. You can press it as you go too, and then you can just keep adding more and more and more. And so, let me... They don't have to be the same. You can just... And they can be bigger pieces. You can overlap them. When this one is done, it's going to be brighter than the other one. And then I got some like duller rust color ones. And then here's that little bit of that piece of that other background fabric that we didn't use. And I'm just going to cut some of that. Now this one doesn't have iron-on, so I want to make sure when I cut this that I at least have some iron-on. And then I'll add some yellow. And then when I did this, you know, I put a bunch on, and then I kind of walked away for a while, and then you can come back and then see what it looks like. And then you can just keep adding pieces until it's full of fabric. And here's another batik where it's got kind of light and dark and light and dark. Most of these are batiks that they have the light and the dark. It gives it some dimension. And same with like this one here is kind of real vibrant.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. High definition and caller ID is now free with all TV packages. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to find out more.
Okay, so you just kind of keep working on these fabrics. If you want, you can just cut up a whole bunch and just go like this and sprinkle it all over and they fall where they may. Or you can try to adjust them and you just keep filling in until you get what you want. Once you if you have them in the spot you want and then you iron them on, because your base is already going to be ironed on, then you're ironing these pieces as you go. Step away, like I said, and then come back, add a few more. Go ahead, step away. This is not a real fast project. It's kind of a, okay, let's do a little here and then wait, little here, and then you get your project. Once you have this all filled in like this, what I did next, and you could try two different ones. This one has a black tool. The reason we do this with the tool is if there are some ends that are not ironed on, when you put this over it, it will hold it in place. Let me. And it kind of tones it down a little bit with the tool. So we'll just lay this over to kind of show you what we would do. We would just lay it over and pin it. I'd pin it all the way around. And then on this one, I sewed it with the machine. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, if I put the lighter one, let's try the one with the sparkle. It's going to give it a whole different look. It might be too much with the black, you know. You may want to use the tool with a lighter background so that your main focus isn't on this tool, that it will be on your project itself. So there you kind of just have to play with the different color. They have a lot of different colors of this tool. I just picked up 3 for just to experiment with. So that's kind of with this project. And you can make a picture like I did, put it in a frame. I used a little batting in between the back and to make it poof out a little bit. You could also take this project, you wouldn't have to put batting, and you could put a backing on it, and then you can use it as a hang-up. Just put a hanger on it, you can flip the top over, and you can use a dowel, and you can make a wall hanging that way. So there's many ways of finishing your project the way you want to finish your project. There's no set rules on I can do this or I can't do that. It's whatever you want, you make it your own. And if you do make this project, I would love to see what your finished project is like.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
I'd like to thank you for watching our show today. And if you have any ideas or like to be a host on our show, please call me at 437-2615. Thanks.